For most of my entire life, I've been making content in some way, shape, or form. It started with live streaming back when I was 20 and evolved into a great many things throughout my career, with me working on and doing projects I never would have seen myself doing ever. It's been an incredible ride, and I'm thankful for all my experiences, along with the fun I've had and the people I've met. I'm especially appreciative of those of you who have supported me and continue to support me in everything I do. It means a lot, and I genuinely want to express that from the bottom of my heart. Regardless of how I've felt in the past or how I feel now, I've always been able to use the fact that people genuinely enjoy watching me to push me forward and to keep me going. And even on bad days, knowing that even if there's a handful of people waiting for me to hop on, that's enough motivation for me to get on and do so. For as long as I can remember, until I did this YouTube and started my Twitch, I've always been working for other people. A lot of people know me from working with Joe, Other Joe, and Alex on the Angry Joe Show, something that I did for about 7 or so years straight. When I left the show, it was the first time in my life that I would be pretty much on my own and my own boss, and even with the massive loss in following and starting over again, I wanted to do it because I think it's really important to stand on your own 2 feet just to see if you can. I wanted to, even if I failed, say that I did a thing and be able to show it to people, even if it doesn't last forever. I want to get it out there and say that, at least on my end, there's no hard feelings with anyone from that crew, and I genuinely find myself missing being around that environment some days. We don't really get to do much, associate together, or hang out anymore because we're all respectively busy, but yeah, it is what it is, and that's life, and people move on for better or worse. This YouTube, without a doubt, is the biggest and most intense project I've ever poured my heart into. I've never worked so hard for so long and been so passionate about something, and I'm happy to say that we made some real killer videos throughout the course of the channel, running for about a year or so. It wasn't easy, and man, I learned that the hard way, with a lot more effort going into churning out 1 to 2 videos a week than I thought there would be. To say that it was a grind was an understatement, and I will definitely say that there were months when I bit off way more than I could chew, both mentally and physically. Reviewing a game in full is crazy. It's a process of going through the entire game while recording, sorting through all of that footage, writing the review, rewriting the review, and then editing it or having it edited. A lot of people don't realize how many hours go into a video review in total, even mid-sized ones like ours, but it is a lot. And I can easily say some videos took 50+ hours to produce. Factor in the fact that for like the first half of the year of the channel, we were trying to do 1 review a week, and yeah, you can really see how quickly that adds up. I'm incredibly thankful for the help I had with the channel, both Godfoot and Maxi, with their assistance being invaluable as both an asset to the channel and to me as their friend. They made this content so much better and taught me so much respectively through all of this, and I can say that Maxi's editing by itself lifted our videos further than I could have ever brought them on my own. The thing is, with YouTube and this endeavor, I had this idea that if you put 150% effort into something, if I made amazing content, if we had insane production value, if we made genuinely top-tier stuff, we would succeed. I thought that we couldn't possibly fail, that if we invested enough time and money and effort into something, that it would have to grow. I thought that the algorithm would pick us up and one of our successful videos would launch us, grow us further, and snowball us, but that never happened. The channel never really launched, never got promoted to enough of a new audience, and regardless of how hard we tried and how much effort was put into things, sometimes it just doesn't matter. It was really hard on all of us emotionally to come to terms with this. Sometimes life, regardless of how much planning or thought goes into something, it just kind of smacks you in the face, and even if you do everything right, you can still fail pretty hard. Now, when I say fail, I don't mean the content on the channel in the slightest. I think the videos we made are some of the best of their kind, and I genuinely believe that. I think that we overexceed into that department to the fullest, but there's no denying that we failed to catch on or grow as a channel in general in the year and couple months we did it. It's a hard pill to swallow. The reason why this video has taken me so long to get out is because it's been rough to put how I feel into words, and it's been hard to admit that it was a failure in this regard, and that I and we have to move on from this YouTube and try to do other things. It's just not sustainable, and the amount of time and effort can't be afforded anymore to keep going on it. The truth is, rent is expensive and food is even more expensive now, and burning through savings only gets you so far when it comes to getting a shot in content creation on a new platform. I've had a lot of time to reflect on all this and think about myself and content creation as a whole, and I've come up with a few conclusions on what I regret, what I like, and what I feel in general. First and foremost, making content is hard. It's a constant struggle of trying to stay relevant and compete with everything going on in an environment where every market and platform is oversaturated and there's hundreds of thousands of people trying to do what you're doing but better. It's a non-stop mental struggle with numbers, trying to be original and stressing about the smallest things, and I've realized it's definitely unhealthy for me as a whole with how I've been approaching it for the longest time. I think it's unhealthy for a lot of people. I'm not special, but I do know the amount of stress that it generates is insane on a day-to-day basis. I'm not a very emotionally honest person when I'm live. I find it difficult, and there's definitely been days when I wake up and more than anything in the world, I just don't want to go on stream or record or do anything, but I still had to. I don't want to lie and act like I feel fine, but everyone in content creation knows that taking time off, taking days off, or doing anything like that hurts you, and a couple days off can do weeks worth of damage. No joke, weeks worth of damage of growth to your channel, and sometimes take months to gain back that momentum. It feels like you're not allowed to relax. You're not allowed to play games for yourself, and when you try to do anything, you stress out about how you could be working on X thing or streaming the game you're trying to enjoy, and it's all just lost effort by not doing so. I think a ton of content creators really struggle with this just based on conversations I've had with others, and it's rough. YouTube made this a lot worse on me. As of writing this, even with the channel being stopped for a month or two, I feel the stress and burden. Playing games hurts like I should be doing reviews even though I can't. It's hard to relax, and I constantly beat myself up for not doing it. It's a vicious cycle. I was working so hard nonstop that it just became who I am, and I realized that it was a huge problem and part of the reason why I decided that I had to stop. It was destroying me mentally and causing a lot of issues between reviews when I wasn't doing something that I considered to be work. My biggest regret though, and I seriously mean this, the thing that bothers me the most was the damage the last few years has had on my friendships with a lot of people. Being a content creator is, by its nature, pretty selfish. You have to focus on things you need to do, and everything revolves around pushing said content. And even when you try your hardest to not slight people, do wrong, or not forget about people, it happens. You may not intentionally do it, and a lot of people obviously don't, but you do push people away with different priorities. It, at least for me, was extremely hard to maintain social circles while I was doing all of this. I was focusing so hard on trying to succeed on YouTube and Twitch, and it's cost me many friends, and I've lost opportunities to go further with friends I had. The number of times I was so focused on working on something that I ignored friends and family is numerous, and the more I think about it, the worse I feel. I wish I hadn't, and it's genuinely awful to be surrounded by so many people when you do something like stream, but still feel incredibly alone because of those you've lost. I'll say though, and I seriously mean this, that I am proud of the fact that I never used anyone for my content or ignored anyone on purpose, and I always tried to be as nice and apologetic as possible whenever I realized that I had done wrong. However, all of this exposed the same sort of thing in a lot of friends I thought I had when I went out on my own. You become hyper aware of this stuff when you sit back and reflect on it, and the number of people I thought were my friends that quickly threw me to the wayside when I wasn't relevant anymore was pretty huge. I had a lot of content creator friends who I realized were only interested in maintaining friendship as long as I could offer them something, so not really friends, and that was tough to come to terms with throughout all this. There were so many people that offered to help Godfoot and I and encouraged us to start our own channel and to do our own thing. People that we genuinely wanted to work with that ghosted us immediately after the channel formed. Everyone's always bouncing onto new things and trying stuff, and it seems like regardless of how much history or time you share with them, it's easy for them to just let you go and move on. But yeah, enough serious talk about YouTube and its complications and streamer life in general. I want to talk about the future. So what do I plan on doing going forward as far as content goes? Well, for the moment, I'm personally done with YouTube. There's a good chance that I still might do shorts every now and then, but unless something changes in the future, I'm not really motivated to continue to do content for this platform. We had so many banger videos that blew up and had like 40, 50, 60,000 views, only for YouTube to turn around and refuse to promote our stuff for various reasons. So given the state of everything, I need to turn my focus elsewhere. Where will my attention be for the moment? Well, I've had a long thought about Twitch, and it's something I genuinely enjoy. I love the live interaction with people, and I feel extremely bad about the sheer neglect I put on that channel trying to juggle it for the last year and a few months with the YouTube. I straight up cut my hours on Twitch in half in 2022, and I want to fix that, as well as start working together on Twitch content with other content creators there and doing a lot more gaming with them in general. I've really thought about community too, and I genuinely want to build mine, which is why I'm strongly encouraging everybody to join the community Discord that will be in the description like always. It's also the one I use for stream. I've already been far more consistent, far more relaxed with what I play and how I approach games, and genuinely happier without rushing to finish something or forcing myself up for days just to get something done before an embargo drops. So if you like me as a creator, the Twitch is on the screen, and I fully ask that you come and watch me while I'm live Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern onwards. Streaming genuinely feels great after YouTube. For the first time in years, I find myself wanting to do it all the time, even when I'm not, and not in a stressful sort of way. Whether or not I do it forever is something I'll be figuring out over the next year, but you can bet your ass that I'll be putting 200% effort in on the channel and really doing everything I can to entertain those of you that follow me over there. I want to do more with my life, you know? I want to be able to try new things, do new stuff, and not be tethered down by content creation or YouTube especially when it was taking too much effort for so little return. I think it's important and really important to try to be happy, and I think this is the best decision as I really wasn't. I'm going to take a final moment to clarify something. This video's entire purpose is to vent about a lot of frustrations and issues I had in the last 12 years of making content that I never was honest or open about. There's definitely specifics about the YouTube side of things in this for sure, but this is a broader generalization of everything on my mind, and this is to just get that out of there. There have been some pretty fantastic positives in the last 2 years, and I want to get that on the record. Like I said in the beginning, I've had amazing support in the form of Godfoot and Maxi, both individuals who genuinely believed in me as a content creator and a friend. Through everything, they were there for me, Godfoot especially, and I can't ever thank him enough for the support and the ability to actually give all the YouTube stuff a proper chance. Seriously, the dude has never shied away from helping out and enabled the situation to further myself as a creator and to truly give it my all. I definitely want to elaborate more on what he's done, and there will have to be another video for that in the future, outlining everything he does and all the good he puts into the world, because he genuinely deserves it. He supported not only myself through content creation, but he helps so many others. He's such a fantastic guy. One final thing that I would love for all of you to do that would mean a lot to me personally, and I'm sure Godfoot and Maxi, would be that if you made it to this point in the video, do me a favor, do them a favor, and post which video is your favorite video from the channel down below in the comments. I think we all genuinely want to see what you loved the most. I know I do. And each comment that you post with a video will mean a lot. We will read it. And finally, for the last time for now, I'm going to do an outro and say, Delrith here. Thanks for watching. And until the next video, I'll be seeing you. Bye.